everyone, and welcome to new episode of Poppy Up after quite a while. And I am pleased to welcome Lizzie.mae. Hello, can you tell us about your day a little bit, what you've been up to?
Hello, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited to do this with you. Yeah, so actually it was not like it was more of a boring day. I was just at work and then I came home and I was excited to record this with you today. So, yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about your music, and I guess we can start with how did you realize you wanted to make music first, and maybe what was the first song you wrote, just like your beginnings of the music journey.
Yeah, sure. So, um okay, I just started little when I was younger. So when I was younger, I was always into music and singing, and I also started writing songs pretty early when I was in primary school, and also a bit of poetry. But then over the years, I kind of lost track of that and had different interests, and yeah, I just got back into that after school actually, because then I started writing poetry, and this actually got me then into writing songs again and singing, and yeah, having the confidence to share my songs online, because I feel like that was the biggest thing that was still in between me and doing this. So yeah.
Yeah, and you've mentioned before, because we're actually recording this for the second time, there are some technical difficulties, and you mentioned that you were writing poetry. So maybe you can repeat that and talk about
Yeah.
it a little bit because it was interesting.
Okay, so yeah, I um I started writing poetry when I was 18, 19, because there was a lot going on in my life back then, and also I met a specific person, and there was so many things going on with myself, inside myself, mentally, and like everything was a lot, and it was a way of coping with all of that, and I started writing down my thoughts and emotions into my notes app, and this is then how started writing poetry. And then over the years, at one point I had 400, over 400 poems, and I was why not sharing them? And so I started in 2022, I started a poetry account, but with a different name. So it was Thoughts by Honey, but it's not there anymore. And then I started sharing my poems, but anonymously. So I was a bit afraid, still, what people who know me would think or say about it, and if they would see it. So only my cousin knew it back then. um, and then yeah, I was at some point, it was when I started this, I was I wanna release a poetry book, because I felt why not sharing, your thoughts, and I mean, it's form of art, and I've been always really creative and into whatever art it would be, if writing, painting, sketching, whatever. So yeah, and then actually, in my last year of fashion school, so after, it was actually I was already studying fashion school, but I had I took a year off in 2022, because yeah, it was also with COVID and stuff before. So, then in my last year of um fashion school in 2023, when I was back, I wrote so many more songs again and started singing again every day, and this kind of got me back into all of this, and that's when I actually decided, okay, or I promised myself, once I'm done and graduated, I want to do more with that. So yeah, this is how I what I did since I graduated last year.
And I'm so glad you did because your music is amazing. Maybe you can share people or what shaped your sound and the way you are writing and creating music in general.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also, the questions are so amazing. you like I also know you like listen to my music, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that. So um yeah, I feel like when I was growing up, I was listening to Hannah Montana and like Shania Twain, ABBA, and like this song is called like If a Song Could Get Me, and I feel like this kind of like shaped me, definitely. But then, as I mentioned to you before, like when I was actually like 18, 19, 20, probably 21 still, like I was listening to different genres like trap, rap, R&B, and then I like when Olivia, like no, it was like in 2020 when she uh yeah, got big, but like when Sour was there, like her album, like it definitely got me back into like pop music again. And yeah, so I feel like that shaped me definitely, and like also in general, I feel like I'm not like I could never compare myself to like the big Taylor Swift fans, but I'm just like I'm really a fan of her like songwriting, because I feel like she's such a great songwriter, and also like Gracie Abrams, and I feel like Gracie is like one like I just love her music. I love her songwriting, and like I never had an artist where I love like every single song. Um so yeah, I feel like that also shapes me. Like for example, Leslie Rose, like I really like her songs, and also songwriting. I feel like through her I got more into like writing a bit like more like bold stuff, like being more like getting into that feeling of rage, or like being a bit more sassy. So yeah.
I love it. I love me some sassy songs, especially like what's happening in the world right now and how women are sometimes perceived.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the Sabrina album cover, like B.
Mhm.
And I just feel like women are not allowed to express themselves anymore. So it's nice to have people who are not afraid to show it and write about it.
Yeah, and actually I was like, when I started writing, I was like doing like the typical like heartbreak songs, and it was actually really hard for me to write like a real love song, like expressing the good feelings, because I feel like it's so easy to write about like the heartbreak and like all in general, like being sad or like feeling anxious. Like it was so much easier to write about that. But this year, I also got more into like writing like more fun songs, and like also more of the songs when you're in love and that type of feeling, and being more like yeah, being more like sassy and bold. And I feel like that's so cool, because like also as you mentioned, like sorry, but there are like so many male rappers, or like in general artists out there, who can do whatever they want. And then there's like a woman who just wanted to be like provocative and like in a visual way, and then everyone's going mad and like crazy. And I feel like this is exactly what like feminism should be about. Like let the woman do whatever she wants to do. So yeah. And I feel like, as an artist, like she definitely has like there's a concept behind this, so I feel like people just need to be more patient and not just directly like cancel someone, because yeah, it's not what they would do.
Yeah, I completely agree. And obviously, like, I understood the concept from the beginning. And I feel like everyone who has brain cells and has working brain would understand it. But obviously, some people are very slow. But it's fine. Not gonna judge anyone, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, but we do judge. No, but like I feel like it's just what is like what I don't like. And it's like I mean, there will always be like haters and like people on TikTok, or like in the comments in general, who are miserable. But I feel like, like I was getting mad because like when Olivia got big, everyone like was bashing like Sabrina, and everyone hated her. And then like when she got bigger, somehow like people turned on Olivia, which I don't get. Like, why do you always like compare women? Like, just don't. And like now, because like she actually like wrote under like in her caption, she said like man child is from the area where she wrote also like the songs for sweet short and sweet and short and sweet. I'm like confused, sorry. But like and I don't know, like people were like, "Yeah, but it sounds the same." Like, yeah, because it's from that era. So I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's yeah. I don't get that. I don't think that's like a nice way of like, like just because someone's like now succeeding doesn't mean the other one is like now, like has to be cancelled.
No, you know what? I agree. Like, this is a safe space, and I'm a little hater after all, especially when people don't get stuff. So yeah, I agree. And thank you for mentioning the people putting female artists against each other. I've never
Yeah.
seen a male artist being
Yeah.
pit against each other.
No.
So that is a little weird, and I wish people did not do that. But I don't know how we can change it, and I don't know why people do that and why they have the need to do that. I've never ever thought about comparing my favorite artists against each other because everyone is specific in their own way.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, you know, I feel like you can only like control your own like behavior on that and like what you spread. But yeah, I mean, it's in general like I don't get why women are always like being compared with each other, but like men can literally do whatever they want and like they can put out what like the worst and like I don't know, like like they can say whatever they want in their like lyrics and everyone's like gonna be like, ah, this is so cool. But like if a woman does the same, it's like, like she can't say that or something. Yes, she can because like why not?
I couldn't agree more. I feel like we just are not allowed to express each other or like ourselves without being called crazy or overreacting and stuff.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, it happens. And I'm so glad you started talking about this. Maybe I can ask you how's your relationship with social media in general, and when do you know that you feel comfortable sharing something about yourself, and when do you feel like you need to put some boundaries and not post everything?
Okay, so that's a really interesting question actually, that I have to think about. So it's like a love and hate relationship. So I have to say, if I feel like years ago when I did poetry, I was already like doing social media and like I don't know. Also before I was like when I was like 18, 19, I really got into like manifestation, like the love attraction, and not a lot of people were like into that. It got just bigger over the years. And I remember like I got bullied from like boys in like my first university that I went to. And yeah, so and then after like years after, I was like, why did I let them bring me down? Because like also like I did TikToks, when it started in 2020 and like everyone like was laughing about me. And now I'm like, why like I should have just ignored it. And that is like my mindset now. So I feel like I just share what I feel like I want to share. And I mean, I feel like I'm not like people get my personality through what I'm posting, but I feel like like I still I'm still really focused on like music, and I really take social media like as a like small business. Like it really got to a point where it became a habit to like post consistently. And also like even like when things happen and like I don't feel good or something, like I still do it because I feel like consistency and discipline is like so much more like important than like being yourself led by emotions, because there are like days, and there were days where I didn't want to record content because I was tired or I wasn't in the mood, but I feel like you have to get over that point and still do it to get in the habit of being consistent. And actually this is something that I learned in the last year, and I'm actually proud of, because like I have really big issues with like being consistent in things. And I feel like with music, I realize it just depends on what you do. And if you really want to do it, you can do it. And yeah, so I feel like if I wouldn't do music in general, I think I wouldn't post a lot because um yeah, I'm like I feel like I take social media as an inspiration, but like when you like look at it, like I try to like get more visual, like pleasing on Instagram, for example. Like I want to stay consistent in my TikToks, but I feel like people just get my personality if they like connect with me like personally. And I feel like I'm not like, I mean, I barely do like talking videos, sometimes stories, but like not the like lifestyle videos on TikTok or something. Cause like I don't know. Like I can't do that, you know? Like I feel like I'm if you want to get to know me, like it's like easier in person. Like I just I feel like sometimes I can't bring it across in front of the camera. I don't know if you like get that or if you also have that, but I just use it actually really more of like connecting through my lyrics and like my music and yeah, me as an artist.
So I feel like this podcast is like the first encounter of like really putting yourself out there and sharing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually
I'm
it
so
is
proud
'cause
of you.
yeah, because I've never like did a podcast and like I was so excited to do this and like also I mean I want people to get to know me better, but I feel like, you know, like how do you get to know your artist better? Through like interviews and podcasts and like I mean you kind of get their personality through what they post, but it's also like, you know, it's also like a small business, so it's also like yeah, you know, I feel like it's sometimes hard to like share more of my personality. Um, yeah, I don't know if like how you do it, because like I mean now you're like also like doing the podcast and like I don't know how you see it. Yeah, I would think it's like interesting to know like how you see it. Like how do you get like the personalities or like the vibe of an artist?
How do I get it? Um
Yes.
so I don't know, I just feel like I don't really judge people based on what they post. I also feel like a lot of because me myself, I don't post myself out there when I'm having a bad day and when I feel like I just don't want to exist for a second, you know, and I just want to like bunk myself in bed. So I guess, yeah, well, I find it's so hard right now because I understand from my point of view that sometimes people just have that persona out there and want to seem cool and maybe have a character out there. I know some people who had character. I had an interview with Ivy James and she has a character and she's not really like herself on social media, which is fine because she doesn't want to post about herself. And I
Hmm.
understand people like that. But at the same time, I really like artists who are a little honest, but I also understand that they don't want to share everything because it's not good. People can do crazy stuff. Like, I am in quite a few fandoms, and a lot of times when artists were too nice, people found out about their job and like their number and like their address, which I feel like is super
Oh,
disrespectful,
yeah.
and it leads to parasocial relationships. I see that your community is like very nice and strong and you have such a great relationship with them, but at the same time I feel like people should be careful with, you know, engaging with that kind of parasocial relationship, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, I feel like because I'm like a small artist and like I like fortunately I don't have like, you know, people like trying to find out where like I live or something, but that's also like I never like really say like I've been to a concert where like I met like people who listen to my music. I don't like to say like fans because like, you know, they're like more like my friends instead of like fans, you know, but I never like really tell where I live and like which city, like because you know it's like my privacy and also like I feel like my community they also kind of know like that I like they know that I have a job, but they don't know like where specifically like or what exactly I think I'm working because I feel like that's like you know like in my private life I'm like yeah, I'm my private self, but I do have to say I'm like not being like a persona online. I mean, I would love to be more of like a cool girl, but I yeah, I don't know. I'm just like being myself, to be honest. And I feel like also on those days, as you mentioned, like I have also like, of course, days where I'm like really down, or like um I don't know. And actually I feel like also I did that when I had this poetry account, and like I just started sharing that. And like I also tell, like, in my story, or like even in the group chat that I have with them, like, what's going on, kind of like if I don't like, yeah, um if I have like a tough time, because I feel like, I mean, of course I don't want to sit there and like cry in front of them, like, it's like also like I want my music and like me to be like the happy and like safe place. But also, like, not everyone has that always, and like you also have like phases where it's like not everything is like fine. And um also, like, the group chat that we have is like that I have with my like fan base and like community, I would like rather say, is like they also like, it's like a really safe space for them. And they also say like if they're not like feeling well, like we like kind of like helping each other to like feel better. And like this is what is so important to me. And I feel like that, like, I am so grateful. And like sometimes I can't believe this, like, that I attracted these people. um and yeah, it's also like, have an impact. And I feel like that was also something that I always wanted to. And this is why I feel like I don't want to have like a persona online, because I want to be myself. I want to share like things that are important to me, and like things that I would, give as advice, or like what I want to give them for their life. Because I know like also my listeners are mostly like 5 to 10 years younger than I am. And yeah.
Yeah, that I also wanted to mention that I have the opportunity to kind of be involved in like the music industry and have an opportunity to run an HQ accounts, like multiple.
Yeah,
And
this is also so cool and exciting.
I wanted to say that sometimes we had to fight these younger, not like fight, but like we had to fight against having like bad influence on younger girls, because there are, girls who are like 13 and 14, and they
Mhm.
obviously see you as an inspiration and as someone who they can look up to. But as I mentioned, it comes to parasocial relationships when they think they are like your best friend, which you are in kind of way, in like kind of healthy way. Everyone thinks that we are best friends on the internet, like that. It's good that we can have a safe space here, but as I've mentioned, like maybe as you will grow more and more, it can lead to, people finding your address,
Yeah.
which happened to an artist that I run HQ for,
Oh.
and you know who I'm talking
Oh,
about. And
yeah.
so,
I'm
so it,
so sorry that this happened. Like to hear that, because that's crazy.
yeah, so then we had to make like a message and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's kind of important to talk about this too,
Yeah.
to like have healthy boundaries, but also be there for each other. I think it's so important to be kind.
Yes, and I feel like also like in what I don't know, like it was directly like a thing with them. Like I also do like Zooms, and in general like everyone's like so respectful. Also in the group chat, everyone's like really respectful to each other. And there was, I had like once a situation, I have to say, where like someone, like I'm not gonna say too much, because like not a name or something, because like yeah, but I feel like it's like a thing to talk about. I had like someone following me, and this person, like, I don't know, they directly like acted as if they like know me, and like they gave me a nickname, and I was like, sorry, but like please call me like, like my name, because like I felt it was like so disrespectful. And like they kind of like, I don't know, I felt really intimidated, to be honest. And I'm like a really like intuitive person. I had like a really weird feeling about it, and I something felt off. And like and then like I also like they made like a fan page, and like acted as if they were like following me for a year or something, like, I mean, I'm so grateful for every fan page, but like I know the people who have fan pages like still are being respectful to me, and like not like, it was just pretty weird. And like um but I put her, sorry, like I put them, yeah, like her in the group chat. And then it was like, I don't know, it was, something was weird. And then like a day later I told my like I have like two girls to do my HQ, and they're like the sweetest, and like I was like, girls, I have to talk to you, because I have like a weird feeling about this person, and like something feels off, but I don't know. I also like I didn't want to be like a bad person, and like because yeah, I mean like everyone's different, and maybe as like some fans are also like more, I don't know, like they have their like own way, and um but they then also mentioned that some like weird things happened, and like this person also texted them, like it was pretty weird. So the next day I decided like to get this person out of the group chat again, and like I told everyone, like I sent a message and was like really honest about it, and they agreed, and they were like, yeah, this is like, because I wanted, because it didn't feel right to me, and it was actually the first time that I blocked someone, and I because I felt so bad, because there was like this person who was, like found me, and then like was into my music and stuff, but something was like weird, because like it was more of like an obsession, and like from within an hour, like um and yeah, so it was definitely the right decision, because um I wanted to keep the group chat a safe place. And yeah, I feel like as an artist, like it's my social media, and I can like decide who I want there and who not. And like I wouldn't have done it if it wouldn't like really been for a reason. So yeah, I thought I mentioned that, because that's, I feel like you always like should listen to yourself. And yeah, if something like tells you, oh, yeah, I have this in general with people. I don't know if you also have that, but my gut feeling was never wrong. So yeah,
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And that is exactly like what I'm talking about. Like sometimes
yeah.
people
I feel
don't
like people shouldn't
understand.
make you anxious or like scared.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes they don't understand because they're young, or maybe they're not good at speaking certain language, which is fine. But yeah, like the online space can be very toxic and very like people think that they know you, but they actually don't know you. But I'm glad you resolved it this way. And I feel like artists in general should really talk about more how they want to have online relationship with their fans in general, and like state some boundaries. Like that is so important. I will always talk
Yeah.
about it because I get
Yeah.
so mad about this.
No, but this is true. Yeah. I feel like this is like not really spoken, like not a lot of people that I heard like speaking about it. And um yeah, I mean, as for example, like Chaperone, like she she did, like she had her boundaries and like communicated them, and then people directly went onto her, and like like, but she's also like a person. And I feel like what I don't like in general in like the music industry is that people dehumanize like artists, because they're like also just a being and like just a human. And they like, because everyone's always like, yeah, but it's their job. No, the job doesn't come with like stalking. The job doesn't come with like they didn't decide to be disrespected and like stalked and all of this. So I feel like it's good how it's changing, and that artists are speaking up for themselves, because I feel like this is so important. And also like, yeah, like if you don't set boundaries, like um it's just getting worse for yourself.
Yes, exactly. People see artists as puppets and as someone who should perform for you because it's their job, but people don't understand that they're human beings with their own lives, and we should like respect them and respect each other in general. So thank you for saying that. That's I
Yeah,
would I pin this and quote this everywhere.
but it's like
Mm.
so such a nice topic that we just talked about, like also that you like 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 your mindset on that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing as well. I feel like it's important, and whoever like either if a fan listens to this or an artist, I feel like we can learn from that as well.
Yeah, true.
Where do you go or what do you do to get inspired? I mean, obviously you are writing poems and there's like different topics you can talk about, but where do you usually get inspired?
So actually, when I, like now when I write songs, I don't start with a poem. Like I just start with the song. Like it barely happens to me that I write a poem anymore. But like where I go is actually like I don't know. Like it actually lyrics come up to me under the shower or like in the car. But when I sit down and write, it's like usually actually on my chair on my desk. Like or sometimes in my bed, but I feel like it's like a really boring place. But yeah, I would love that. I feel like this is like something that I want to do, but this is also like a bit more of like uh I don't know, like I'm not insecure. It's just, do you know, it's like social anxiety, and I feel like it's that this would be like a challenge for me to like I just want to go outside and sit in a park and write a song there. But you know, then it's like, oh, people will see it and like people will, you know. So, but that's definitely a thing that I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe when you will go on tour one day or
Yeah,
open for someone, you will get even more inspired somewhere in the tour bus or something.
that's true. I feel like what inspires me, like I feel like as much like the more you ride, the more like you get inspired, because that's also like I feel like what I learned a lot in like fashion schools, like the more you create, the more creative you get, and the better your work is gonna be. And that's also like what my like teacher always like told us, and this is like so true. So yeah,
That's true. I get inspired as well when I do stuff more and more and like
yeah.
learn. So definitely I agree with that. You have 3 songs out as of right now. I checked and your debut song came out almost a year ago. It was 11th
Yeah.
of July. So you will celebrate 1 year. Maybe you can tell us the story behind Rewind.
Yes. So yeah, it's crazy that it's almost been a year. Um and yeah, actually like Rewind and all the other songs are like about the same situation, like person. I feel like the next, I don't know, 20 album's gonna be about this because you know, like I feel like I wrote in albums, like also what I wrote last year is about a specific thing and like, you know, so yeah, Rewind is like, you know, when you're like falling in love and then you're like it's over and you being left with so many questions, because I feel like the worst heartbreak I had wasn't like from a like relationship but like from a situationship, because you like never fully had the person, and I feel like this is what like leaves you with so many questions that you will never get an answer to. And like in general also my next songs and like my latest song, it's like I feel like yeah, they like really illustrate how I was feeling and like being left with so many questions.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say as well that this really resonates with me, like all of your songs, because this is really for situationship girls, like your music. Like we can
Yeah.
just really relate on a certain level, and I just love it so much. So
Thank you
Fairy
so
Tale
mught.
and Midnight Call are about the same situation as well. Also, I really, really, really love the cover art for Fairy Tale. I feel like it fits the song so well, like you being in the pool and the 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 photo in general. I just love it so much. How
Thank
do
you
you come
so
up?
much.
How do you come up with the visual side of your of creating music?
Also, actually, like Rewind, I was just I don't know how. Actually, I feel like, uh, yeah, I just wanted to keep it like really blue and like more simple, and I did that with a friend. And then actually, like the fairy tale visual came up really like it was not planned to be this picture. I actually did a photo shoot and like like where I was running through fields, not like a field, but like in nature, because I wanted to have this vibe of like, you know, like fairy tale being in a like a in out in the woods, you know. But I didn't like them, so and then I shoot like the kind of like music visual for fairy tale, and then like it was like really random picture actually, and I was like, oh, this actually is really nice, and like I like the vibe of like being in the water and having like the blue in it, but also like I was wearing something yellow with sequins, and I liked how it was like combining. And also now it makes so much sense because I wanted to move into the direction of yellow, like the butter yellow, lemon yellow shade. And yeah, for like my last song, Midnight Call, like this is actually like a little Easter egg, which I can't talk about yet, but it's definitely like yeah, it has a reason why I did that picture with like, like what I was doing there. So and yeah, actually like the Midnight Call picture, like visual I took myself. I don't know how I did that, but like yeah, I did it myself. So yeah, but I feel like I'm like a really visual person. I don't know, like you probably seen my Instagram feed like changing, and I just like I also like got so much more like yeah, like resonate, like people resonating with that. And I feel like it does a lot to the eye, like if you like also trying to get your music or like I know it's for an artist it's like important to have like a brand and like color or like something. And I feel like now it's like really getting into a direction that really fits me. So yeah.
Yes, I also wanted to say that as you've mentioned, your new song that came out last Friday is out and it's called Midnight
Yes.
Call. And it's such a great song. And if you want to share something about it, I would love to hear about it. Like either what was the creative process like, or what were you feeling at specific moment when you were creating the song.
Yeah, sure. So um yeah, I mean, as you listen to it, and like everyone who's listening to this now should listen to the song because it's like I'm so proud of that because like it really mm, like it really became the song that I imagined it to be. And I'm like so happy that I found the producer that I'm having now because like he really brought it to life with me. And so the story behind it is actually like a few years ago. Like I mean, the situationship was going on for you know, like a time. And it was like I don't want to say too much because also like I want to like kind of still be respectful to that person's privacy. But like what I can say is like yeah, this person was on like vacation in the like northern lands countries, and yeah, we would like always like talk to each other and like call like like FaceTime for hours. But it was always like in the evening or like, after midnight. We both were people who are like awake for long, so I'm like also like a night person. And then like last year in winter I got a call, um like yeah, I can't say if like from who, but like I got a call and I was like in my bed and like I just was about to put my phone away, and then I saw this call incoming and I saw like it was midnight and I was like, oh no, no way, because like I knew if I'm gonna pick up like I'm gonna be awake till 2 a.m. and I had work the next day. So I was like, no. And then I like, like just let my phone there and like turn around and wanted to sleep. And then out of a sudden this like first line came to me like a midnight call from you, oh that's nothing new. And then yeah, somehow I started like writing a whole like almost the whole song into my notes app. And the next day I grabbed my guitar and I started to play the chords. And then it became midnight call, and then I posted like a YouTube video on it like in December. And yeah, like actually I didn't plan to like have this as like the third song, but because then I decided like, and then I wrote also other songs that fitted into a specific project. So yeah, and this is actually like yeah, how it came together. And also it's like, it's like as you probably like also saw like when you were listening to it, because I don't know if the lyrics is out everywhere yet, because sometimes it takes a bit. But it's like also like in the chorus, like, and also in the first verse, like lots of questions, that you're being left with. And it's like this song of like letting go, but somehow this person always keeps coming back, and like you like somehow always like, yeah, find each other, like a way back to each other, and not even like in a you know, in a way of like being lovers or something, but like in general, you know. um so yeah, but actually like this song is like really personal to me, and like I'm really proud of that, because like it's like I mean, I like fairy tale, but I feel like still this day I feel like it could have been production wise differently, or like better. And I feel like for Midnight Call now, I'm like, I feel like I did what fits the song the best. And yeah.
It's such a great song. I love it so much. As you said, everyone should go listen to it right now. Like, literally stop this, go listen to the song, then come back. And and I love the visual as well. And I really love that what you are doing with your Instagram as well, with like the promotion and stuff, and the yellow. And as you've mentioned, that maybe you have something coming up, so it really like fits the aesthetic and stuff. You're even doing like crossword puzzle, and I just love it so much.
Yeah.
And I can see how dedicated you are. But I just want to say that all of your songs are amazing. I love Fairy Tale so much as well. I don't know what I would change, but obviously like you are more critical of yourself than maybe people
Yeah.
who like you. But I just want to say that it's really great, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm so excited for whatever is to come next.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, like I like fairy tale, especially like lyrical wise. But yeah, I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, like I feel like you are like like the most critical person is yourself with like your art. And yeah, also I have like, I want to say something here and mention that, because the two girls that are doing my HQ, they're like so sweet, and they like literally became my friends, like, or like more like I'm like their big sister. And it's like so great to also exchange like ideas with them, because they like also like give me ideas visually and like for release stuff. And it's like, so like I appreciate that so much, because it's also, I know it's like their free time, but yeah, they also like inspire me a lot, and like, yeah, help me to go into this direction. So yeah, because you're like also doing an HQ account for an artist, so um I just want to mention that like this is also work that people don't see, and like, yeah, just an appreciation.
Yeah, shout out to the girls and the
Yeah,
HQ. And
shout out to like Beer and Lily.
I just feel, and as you've mentioned, like as someone who does this, and it's been a long way, like you can learn so much from that. And as mentioned, the as a person who wants to study this, and obviously and hopefully be a part of music industry in that way. I just feel like it's so great that nowadays artists want their fans to run the HQs, because I just feel like labels in general do not understand artists, and they just
Yeah,
see them as money machines. So I feel like it's really nice to have someone that you can trust and bring the creative and promotional and visual stuff alive as well.
that's true.
What's been the biggest challenge releasing music independently?
Yeah. This question is like, yeah. This is like I love that you asked that, because like also I like barely hear people speaking about that. So I feel like the biggest part I have to say, and I know lots of people don't know about it, is like the financial part. Because like I'm a person, I'm grateful for everything that I have, and like um you know, like I know like money gives lots of like freedom, but like I'm not a specific like a money focused person, also like not a material person. Like I'm not like really buying lots of stuff, you know, for myself or something. So but yeah, music, like producing music is expensive, and I feel like the financial part, this is also like why I haven't like released more songs last year, because I was still an intern. And you know, like now that I'm like yeah, like can like being more flexible financially, like um it will definitely change, but I feel like lots of people don't know about it. And then, like, I mean, like I work a full-time job and I spend every free time that I have on music, like on writing, on recording, on like doing calls with my producer because like we're working digitally together. Like also maybe to mention because like I'm not going into a studio, I record at home because like he lives in a different country. And yeah, so like I put all my like time, effort, and like passion into it, but sometimes I feel like I'm like kind of like losing myself a bit in that. And this is like sometimes I'm like I like at some point I'm like, okay, I just maybe I should just go out with a friend and like drink a tea, you know, like just not think about music or what I could write or, you know, like recording content or whatever. But in general, like I've been always doing like multiple things at the same time. Actually, the past years, like I always had like like fashion school and a job, and like fashion school was also a lot like creative wise and like uh, practical things to do. And I feel like I just love like doing it all, but sometimes it's like it can get really lonely sometimes. And like especially like I don't have any connection in the music industry. Like I have no management, like I have nobody that I know like that could bring me into the, you know, like in the countries that I would love to perform. So I feel like it's also lots about like connections in the industry. And so far, I like sometimes I'm like, will I ever get out of here? Because like you know, you feel like, oh my god, like I'm living alone, but it still feels like I'm in my childhood room. And like yeah, I don't know, but also like yeah, um, it's like you have to decide what's important to you. And I know like for other people like they would love to go more partying and like going on vacation, like traveling and doing like they have like different priorities. And I feel like for me like my priority is like doing this, so like I put everything that I have into that. But it's not always like just like I feel like most people don't see like the grind behind it and like how much it is to do it all on your own. And like I'm always like happy if a friend has time to take pictures with me or like anything and like helps me. But you know, like I also don't want to bother them with like my stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, as someone who I don't want to say that I'm like too involved in music industry, but I am very happy to talk to few artists, and I know how hard it is financially. Like it is really expensive. It's not cheap. And I feel like people sometimes forget about that, and they're like,
Yeah.
why are you not releasing more music, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
I'm there's so much behind this, you have no idea. So
Yeah.
thank you actually for like publicly speaking about it. Also, another thing that we also dealt with was, it really depends where are you based in, as you said.
Yeah.
It's really hard if you are not from like London or like the US. They just have it easier. And if you're
That's
based
true.
from
Yeah.
like not really not really like known countries, it's harder. So that's also like another factor that really, it's just making things harder. And
Yeah.
obviously the connections, like that's so important. But I feel like as long as that's why I started to do this in the first place. I feel like other artists can see you and you can reach out, and maybe someone will, come across your music or like this. And I just feel like it can be a helpful tool as well to maybe help and support each other, because I feel like it's just so a lot of hatred. And I feel like people who are rich and have money uh obviously have it easier and are able to do more stuff. But I feel like we should push people who work really hard to achieve their dreams, and uh I don't know, just kind of not fall for the nepotism and
Eh,
stuff.
I
So yeah, thank
mean,
you for sharing.
yeah. Thank you so much also like for giving me the space to speak about it. I mean, like I don't like to say yeah, like I don't like to portray myself as poor or anything because I know like I am so lucky for everything that I have, as I mentioned, and like I'm so grateful and like I feel rich on like an internal, like for what I have. Because like which also means for me like, like my family, my friends, and like what I get to do. And I feel like just to mention, I mean, doing music is a privilege. And being a big artist is like an even more bigger privilege. And like I mean, being a nepo baby doesn't mean that like doing good music or something. I just feel like people like it's not easy for everyone. I also wouldn't say like it's like just because you have money it's like you automatically become like the biggest artist in like a few months. But I feel like it's, yeah, as you mentioned, I feel like also like the location is a big thing because if I would be now in like London or like LA, I feel like it would be definitely change things. But then it also like financially wise, it's not so easy to live in London or in Los Angeles. And I feel like that's also like, yeah, like a thing. And like if I could, like if the money wouldn't like I know there are like so many other artists out there who produce their own music, but this is also a thing. Then you have to like put years of like learning into that and like also money. So it's also not just, easier, I would say. And yeah, I feel like um in general, like if money wouldn't play a role in like producing music, and it wouldn't be so expensive, like I already had like albums out, like because I write so much and I have so much that I would love to share. And that's where I'm like, I feel like social media is such a great platform to already do it before like you have like more capacity to like, share your songs on like streaming platforms.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything you said. Money is not everything, but at the same
Yeah.
time, with money you have connections and you can create more. And it's just sometimes it's really not fair. But as I said, if we try to make space for everyone and just be more supportive, then I think this industry in general can change.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like the our generation now is like is like the start for change in industry. And industry is changing. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe was there something surprising on your musical journey, or maybe something that you saw in music industry that surprised you, either positive, like in positive way or negative way? You can say both.
Yeah, I feel like in general, like production, how it all works, like the I feel like when I compose a song and write it on guitar or like piano, it's like such a different thing than like translating that into like a full produced song and like having the sounds in the song. And like I still like sometimes I don't know how to tell my producer like how I want something to sound because it's like in my head, like how do you explain like a sound. And um like this is really like surprising in a positive way. I'm so interested in learning so much more about it. And like yeah, I feel, I guess this is also like a way to find your own sound. But in general, like, yeah, I mean, I was like, I didn't have a clue about the industry, and I found out so many things that like most people don't know, like in general, like how contracts work. And that, people always think like if they get like a record deal, it's like, oh, you gonna be rich and then you can just do whatever you want. But they don't get, it's like basically a loan. And this is why like artists go on tour every year and put an album out every year, because they're like literally working their ass off, because they also have to pay back their loan. And then like even what they get as profit is like just, I don't know, like it depends on the contract, but like 20 to 30%, and the rest goes to the labels. So I feel like lots of people don't realize like they don't make like if the tickets getting higher, it's also because of the venues, but like because the record label wants to make the music. And they literally like, I mean, yeah, I mean, for like most record labels, it's probably like that they using the artist as like a money machine. But of course, like it depends on the management. I feel like the management you have is like really important because they're like your team, and they don't have to be in the same like they don't always have to be connected to the label. And yeah, so that's like a few things that I got to know. There's like the side of the industry that you don't really see or like hear a lot about, but like more people start to talk about.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we are open to talk about these issues, and I feel like people start to notice more these things, and it's getting a little better. Of course, there are people, even musicians, I've been told by other artists that the most surprising thing was that when they started to get more successful, or maybe they had a song viral or whatever, uh their friends who were artists, like, came against them and stopped
Oh,
talking to them, or started to talk really badly about them. So this happens as well. I just feel like it's more of a competition now, when it
yeah,
really should be about sisterhood at the end of the day.
that's so true. And I do have to say, so far I didn't have like lots of good interactions with like small artists, I have to say, because I'm a person like like you could be on the charts tomorrow and like I would still support like I don't have like this type of jealousy, because I feel like everyone has their own way, and like I would love to connect to more like small artists and like exchange your journey and like talk to them, and like um yeah, knowing someone that also like is on the same journey. But I feel like in general, like what I experienced yet is like just that they don't answer back. And I'm not speaking about like really like bigger small artists or like middle small artists. Like I'm talking like same as me, or like a bit more streams or numbers. But I feel like like I don't know. I feel like I'm a person like I'm still me no matter how many followers I have. And I'm still a person like no matter what the numbers are being like virtually. And I will just never get how people like think they're like over me or something, like in general, like over someone else just because they have like maybe more numbers or something. So far, like, yeah, I'm just hoping that, yeah, I will one day have like a connection to like small artists, and like we see each other grow, because like I'm about like all about to support each other, and I feel like this is so important, as you also mentioned, like it should be like that and not like being jealous or like comparing yourself and stuff.
Well, I know about few small artists, so when we end this, I'm very happy to, like,
Yeah, I'm not
connect you.
talking about them, like I mean there's like so many small artists out there, but every time I like reach out or ask them, like I had good interactions, but just they replied to my questions, but that's all. But in general, like, yeah. Yeah, so if you can make me friends with someone my size, I would be really happy.
Yes, of course. I'm very happy to. We can get into it like after this. And yeah, and it's so funny because it doesn't only happen to like artists, but to fans as well. Like,
Yeah.
I've had interactions with fans who had quite a few followers, more than I did, and I just feel like sometimes feel superior and stuff. So it happens. It happens a lot. And
Yeah.
sometimes you try to like I've tried to reach out to someone who is a fan and has HQ as well, and I wanted to ask about something, and they like did not reply to me, and they saw my message like it's
Yeah.
was there like seen. So it happens, yeah, unfortunately. But we'll get into it. Don't worry. I got you. And talking about artists, you've mentioned to me that you've never performed live really, but if you had a chance to open for someone or have a show somewhere, then maybe you can share like where or with who, and what's like your dream venue.
Ah! I mean, you already like know know a bit
Yeah.
about it, but like so in general, like I mean, I have to say I don't have like a specific venue. I feel like I would be glad for any venue at like in this position I am, like I like it's not that I'm not thinking big, it's just I don't know, there are like so many and I've never had this like, oh, I just want to be on stage, you know, like I don't care where, like I just would love to perform live one day. And yeah, so I mean I did apply to a few small artists for the tour, but it's also like, I mean, as you know, like really competitive. So yeah, but I would love to open for Eileen, Alistair, or Alessi Rose. I mean, but now like Alessi's like she did stadium like yeah, like arena. So it's like but yeah. So yeah, I think like and like one day maybe like Gracie opens. I feel like opening for Gracie would be the dream, you know? Like this is like my like that would be everything to me. Yeah, I don't need a headline tour if I could be her opener, you know, like I yeah. But yeah, I mean in the position that I am, like I would be so happy and lucky to open for like Eileen or Alessi. So yeah.
It will happen. I'm so sure. Like, no meantime. And um I would love to see you live, obviously, and it will be your first experience, right?
Yes, yes. I mean I did like a solo in school, if that counts. But no, yeah. It's yeah. Like I always imagine it. So, you know, like one day it's gonna happen because like what we visualize is gonna manifest somehow, you know, probably.
No, it will. We need to think positively. It will. It will. And
um
talking about other artists as well, do you have like a dream collaboration that you would love to have with someone?
yeah, Gracie. I feel like this is like so, I don't know. Yeah, I'm like a really fangirl of her, but like also I feel like at this like also Alessi, I see myself because like I just love like well, it's not like about that. I feel like it's also like thinking about what would fit. I mean, I love also like Edison's new album, but it's like what where I would like mostly see my voice or like my songwriting, and I feel like with Alessi, it could be like such a fun, bold, sassy song. So yeah,
I would love to hear it, honestly. And also talking about Gracie, I just Dora Jar opened for her, and she
yeah,
is supporting, like Gracie is supporting her so much, and I just
yeah,
love how supportive she is and respectful towards her openers, because sometimes it happens that the big artists don't even acknowledge
care,
the
yeah, yeah,
openers and are not really respectful, so that's really nice of her
yeah.
as well.
It also says a lot about her as a person. So she, like, yeah. Um, I was also on a Gracie concert this year. It was my first concert of her, and like I've been waiting for that for so long, and yeah, I just want to go back. It was so magical.
Oh my god, I hope you had so much fun. Well,
Yeah,
I really
and
hope that my next concert will be when you will be.
ah, yeah, and yeah, I actually like on the concert I met. It was the first time that I met people who listened to my music, so that was yeah. I will keep that in my mind forever.
But that's so cool. And maybe were you thinking about doing like a small headline show or maybe a hangout or something?
Yeah, I would love to. The thing is, like, so far I do Zoom sometimes. I want to do them like every month. But yeah, actually, I would love to. But the thing is, like, because I feel like everyone that I'm connected on social, like, with on social media, is like most of them are like you, like in Europe, but it's like so spread it in so many different countries that I'm like, I wouldn't know where, you know, because like I don't know, it's like yeah, it's like they're so spread it. Um, so yeah, but then it's also like, for example, I see my listeners like on Spotify, for example, I can see like my listeners are mostly like Australia or like US, which is insane to me, but like I don't know them on like I don't know them on social media. So yeah, I don't know. Like, but I would love to do in the future, like, if like, so like, sorry, but so far I can't afford a tour to do myself, but I would love to like do like a hangout in a park and like do like a park open concert. But yeah, I don't know where actually, because they're like also spread it. At least the people I know would definitely come. So
Yeah, well, I hope it happens
yeah.
sometime because I would love to come and travel. And obviously, times are like different now because y- there are fans who are younger and wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
travel, but maybe fans who are a little older and are available to travel then would most likely like love to see you. So yeah, and I would bring all of my friends. I will like tell them like you need to listen to her and
Ah,
then you will come with me.
this is so cute. Actually, like, thank you so much for being like so supportive.
Yeah, thank you for coming here. I'm so excited that we could talk. Um,
Yeah.
where do you see your music going in the next few years?
I hope through the roof. I mean, actually, like, I see everything I do now, like, for like, I don't see short term, I really see it long term. So, because I know like most artists uh work years behind the scenes before they like blow up. So I'm not even about like blowing up and having like the biggest hit. I just would love to be able to do this like full time and like making having this as my thing that I do in life, full time, and yeah, getting to travel and perform live. I feel like that, and like being in a studio and like writing songs and putting out albums. I feel like this is like what is like really my dream, and I feel like I really do see myself, like, if I continue and stay consistent, like working on that, like, why not? Because like, I mean, it always seems so big, but then I see like so many other small artists making it, and like, you know so I like try to like see them as like my inspiration. um and yeah, so I definitely see myself in the next years like doing more of that and like spending even more time with creating.
I love that you said that you want to create because I feel like nowadays some people are just so obsessed to be mainstream and to like blow up, but it doesn't come like so soon. Maybe just like one in a billion.
Yeah.
So I really love that you are really like thinking about it normally and like with a cold head. I really like that about you, and I feel like this will bring you more success than anyone ever because that's what happens. Like if you if you work hard and if you don't expect blowing up, then it will happen suddenly because
No.
you manifested and it will happen. I'm so sure. And one day I will brag about having you on my podcast while you are out there, I don't know, selling out stadiums and having interviews with cool BBC and other big interviews. So,
I appreciate
yeah.
that so much. Like, it's also like sometimes when I'm in like my head and like maybe have like doubts, like my like community, like they hype me up and they make it seem like it's not too far away, like, because when I talk to like people in my environment, for them it's like what are you talking about, but like I feel like when I'm in my like bubble on social media especially, it feels like not so out of reach, and I feel like this makes me like really, this is really what pushed me. And like yeah, I mean, yeah, I do have to say I really learned like that, like a viral moment, even like for big artists, it's like it's gonna pass by, and I feel like what's the most important thing, like, I have to be honest, if I would get like one day a record deal, like I don't even care like how much money they take from me. I know it's like not the best thing to say, but like I just want to create. Like I want to do this as my life purpose thing, Like I just want to put myself out there and like put my songs out there and like create, and I feel like this is actually what I want to do. And like, yeah, if like, I mean, also like, like fame comes with it at some point, but it's not about like I want to be famous. It's more about like I would just love to like share my mindset with people and like attract people like who gonna listen to my music and like impacting them in ways of like getting like because they are like so many are really young, like the audience is like really young people like people, and I just want to have an impact on their like mindset in like the most positive way, and like like sharing love and support, and like sharing that you should believe in yourself and your creation. I feel like this is so important to me as a person and also as an artist, and I feel like this is what like I would use it for like yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I believe the passion will bring you flowers, and especially with the mindset you have. So, yeah, it's really healthy. And thank you for saying that and giving like new perspective, maybe for some people. So, you are really kind and creative and talented person, and I believe that good things will come your way.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely to talk to you, and I hope like we still continue to like talking with each other like privately, because like I really enjoy like yeah talking to you, and yeah, I really want to support you also like with your podcast, because I feel like it's such a nice thing to do, and like I know you're also like passionate about it, so we will get more artists on here for you, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I hope that we will talk when yeah, that's another question, like one of the last questions I have. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. You can give a sneak peek or something, whatever you want to share. But whatever is coming next, like do you want to share something, or do you want to just like give a little sneaky link, and maybe when it comes out we can then talk again.
So, like, what I can tell, I mean, a few people actually know what I'm doing because, like, they were on my Zoom, and that's why you should never miss out because, like, you get special secrets. But yeah, I mean, I'm working on something big for me, and like, all I can say is like, it's Lizzie.mae summer, so there will definitely come a few songs, hopefully, like, this summer. And also, I mean, it's not just summer; it's like this year is gonna be like you will hear from me like so much more, and yeah, that's what I want to share, and like what I want to say is like be patient with me because like I'm trying my best to get as much out there as I want, but also art takes time, so yeah. But I'm just so excited for the next time, and like yeah, also like more people resonating with my music, and it just makes me so happy, and like I am so grateful for that, and also like to have the opportunity to talk to you. Um just because I reached out because I found your TikTok, or actually like someone like my HQ girl, she tagged me there, and then I sent you the email, and I was like so happy when you texted me back, and like yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy because I think this was only like third time, which is still insane to me that someone like found my email and like emailed about this. And I was just like so happy that we can do it. And I wanted to start doing this because I was so busy with like exams, and I just finished, high school and enrolled to college. So I had a lot on my plate and didn't have time at all to like record, but I'm so happy to be back and do this, because also this is counting as like my practical part of like college and everything. So it's so nice to do that, and I'm so excited to find out about more people and more music, and I'm so excited for your music as well. And as I've said, we can definitely talk when something comes out, and I would be so happy
It would
to
definitely, because I'm working on and like the next song already. So
so excited. So stay
yes,
tuned.
yes.
And it's not really a question, it's more like a space. If you could say a message to anyone who is starting to write music, or is a small artist and is currently listening to this, so this is your space to maybe share something inspirational or what you want to say. whatever.
Okay, so I feel like like what I learned also, especially in the past months, is like what is happening in your outside world is definitely like starting in your inside world. So um you define your like perception of success, and I feel like once you internalize that and like work on your like internal um belief system and like your mindset, it will definitely change in your outer world. And also, what I would say is like believe in yourself, because like you should be your biggest supporter, not your biggest hater. So it's so important that you believe in yourself so other people can believe in you, and that you see yourself so other people can see you for who you are. And just keep going and not thinking about the goal, but like enjoying the ride along, because I feel like the goal like seems always too far away, and we always get stuck in like, oh, when I reach this I will be happy. And like, why not being happy like in the process of it? Because like no matter what you do, you will always get self-doubts, or like things not gonna work out your way. But like to keep pushing, and like knowing why you're doing this, like the why am I doing this, is like so important. And like constantly like reminding yourself why you're doing that, because you love to make art, and you love like you're you deserve to be seen in your art. It doesn't have to be like music, but like your art in general deserves to be seen. And yeah, like this is what I would tell. And also, especially like when it comes to writing and singing, like when you're younger, like ask your parents to do vocal lessons, or like try to do them with like YouTube videos, if you can't afford it. And like write every day, read a lot so you get better at writing. And like um yeah, just keep doing, because like over time you will see a difference, and like you will see an improvement. And um yeah, so this is what I would say. And also, it sometimes you get maybe stuck in like a spiral of like everything seems so serious, but like sometimes it's also to remember yourself, okay, it's it's just music. And not get too caught up in like all like comparison or something. Like it's yeah, with everything, it's like if it gets too much, just remember you're just a dot in a on this planet, in a whole big universe. And like yeah,
Yeah.
like at the end, just do what you love to do, and don't think about it too much. And like ignore the people who don't give like criticism that you like that is good for you, that you can take as a learning. But people who just hate randomly and like bully you, like just ignore that. Honestly, like just ignore it, because like it won't matter. It won't matter. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure everyone who heard that and wanted to hear some kind of inspiring word is very inspired. And um yeah, thank you for being such a safe space for everyone as well, and for being honest and vulnerable and being so open. I think it's really special nowadays. And thank you for spending Thursday night with me. And I hope we can do this again soon. And it's over 1 hour long, so I hope everyone
Yeah.
enjoyed it as well as much as I enjoyed it. Like it's seriously one of my favorite episodes ever, I feel like.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I just feel bad all the time, because like I really like in the topics that I love to talk about, I'm really talkative. Like um yeah, like I just love sharing that. And it was so nice to talk to you. And I'm sorry that we had to like re-record this, because like the first half hour was like kind of like gone because of like technology. But yeah, I'm like so happy that you had me here. And like really like I appreciate that a lot. And also like your support and all the kind words from your side. And also I love to talk to you, and like sharing like the same mindset on so many tough topics regarding like music. So yeah, it was a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much also for your time spent with me on a Thursday evening. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and I loved it, and I cannot shut up as well. That's why I made this podcast. Honestly, when I started it, didn't really care if someone listens to it as long as I can talk to myself, so it's fine.
You will get bigger with that. Like I know. There will be like you're gonna have like a Gracie on here, you know?
Yeah, you know what? We can just like start a talk show together and just talk forever at this point.
I would love, but like then in person, because that would be even more fun.
Yeah, definitely we can do one in person. I would love to bring a new perspective of the podcast as well, and bring the visual side as well. I'm working really hard on that so we can at least do it through Zoom. So hopefully next one will be
Yeah.
through Zoom so we can see each other as well. Well, I
I,
hope everyone enjoyed it. And if you want to say anything at last, you can. And thank you for spending hour and something with us.
yes, and also like what I want to mention is like everyone can always like reach out to me, and like also what I tell my community, like you can always like come to me even if it's like I don't know about something that's on your mind that you don't have anyone to talk to. I'll be your big sister. So yeah.
You are so sweet. Well, stream, stream Lizzie May. It's Lizzie May summer and fall
Yeah.
and spring and winter. So
Get your
stay
yellow
tuned.
outfits for a tour.
Okay, I'm getting ready for tour already. I'm dyeing my hair yellow at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Yellow, yes. Maybe I should do that too. Not blonde, but like yellow.
Yeah, let's do it. You know what? We only live once, so why not?
Okay, so I wish you a good evening, and you are like freed from me. And yeah.
No, I loved it. And thank you so much again for being here. And we will talk next week.
Yes. See you. Bye bye.